miracle of all of this to me is that Sneako's crying his eyes out that we decided to depose the leader of a South American nation, as if we haven't deposed the leader of every South American nation since there's been elections, bruv. That's all we ever do. That's why you get to live in New York in your big ass building. But because we used a helicopter this time, he wants to cry about it instead of election rigging and dollars, which is how we normally do.
Tate and Sneako are fighting, and it's messy. So what actually happened? It kicked off with Venezuela earlier this week when America came down hard on Venezuela and snatched their so-called president, who oddly looks like Dr. Disrespect. Andrew Tate then jumped in with his truth about Venezuela, calling out how after 10/7 you ridiculed Ben Shapiro for encouraging war from the safe comfort of a podcast studio. And now, in Romania, you're doing the exact same thing. Hundreds of innocent lives already lost, with more on the line, oil not magically appearing overnight, and time still left to switch it up. Sneako basically told the guy to educate himself, and Andrew Tate was absolutely not having any of that. So Tate storms in swinging like, "I'm not some New York art kid making weird little videos, I understand the real world."
So I want to explain to you, without an idealistic, I'm in New York, I make arty-farty stupid videos, someone who actually understands the world.
And Sneako is already bleeding out internally because getting called arty-farty is a critical hit. Sneako fires right back with, "Oh yeah? I make creative, inspiring content. What do you do? Put on a robe, slap on a military helmet, wave guns around and say war is cool?"
Tate saying that Andrew shouldn't respond to me because I'm just going to use it to get talking points on my podcast. Tristan, I don't know. It's not really 2022 anymore. I don't know how much motion and how much pull you think it has the same way. It's not about clout from you guys. It's really about anti-war.
And at that point, the ideas are gone. The logic is gone. And we're just watching two egos torch each other's closets in public. Tate's out here cosplaying a final boss dictator. Sneako's defending his editing timeline like it's life or death. And now, it's just two grown dudes arguing over who's more fake while acting incredibly dramatic about it. Sneako's like, "I actually put effort into my videos." Tate's whole brand is implied intimidation. And somehow this spirals into a fake deep philosophy talk that crashes straight into who wears the weirdest outfit on camera. Absolute Drifter Olympics. No winner, no lessons, just vibes, robes, helmets, and ego damage scattered everywhere. Then Sneako hits him with, "I don't even take gambling deals. I could, but I don't." And honestly, that's one of the rare moments he sounds grounded.
Deals. I could take a gambling deal. I could sign up there. I see him brag all the time. "Oh, I made $300 million this year so far. I'm a billionaire. So why are you taking gambling deals after all this?" Because that didn't really help me escape the Matrix. That didn't help me. Actually, that's why I became so stupid. I signed up for Duel. I thought I was gonna escape the Matrix and resist the slave mine, and instead I lost my mortgage on Duel.com using your gambling link.
He starts clowning the billionaire flex too, like, "You're supposedly up 300 million, you're a billionaire. So why are you still pushing gambling links?" And yeah, that part quietly lands. Because if you really escape the Matrix, why are you dragging your audience into a crypto casino at 3 a.m.? He goes full cautionary tale mode, saying gambling didn't free him. It just made him dumber and burned real money, mortgages included. And listen, I'm not even a Sneako guy, but I can't hate on that. Gambling is haram, and for once he's being consistent instead of just posturing. Rare, Sneako W, painful as it is to say. Sneako's basically saying, "Tristan's telling Andrew not to respond to me because I'll just farm it for podcast clips." Then instantly follows with, "Bro, it's not 2022 anymore. I don't know how much motion you think you all still got." Which is wild because that's not even a rebuttal. That's a clean drive-by. He tries to patch it up by claiming it's not about clout, and it's about being anti-war and the issue itself. But the damage is already done. That one line walked straight off the Google Trends page and never looked back, basically saying Andrew Tate fell off without ever saying Andrew Tate fell off. Subtle, absolutely not, but effective as ever. That's generational disrespect delivered calmly, like it came with a receipt. Sneako then says, "You guys are in Romania saying fuck Venezuela. You guys are in Romania saying that we need to get involved and that we should steal everything from them. It's about protecting my country and not getting involved in foreign conflicts. You guys, well, how many times have you stepped in America in the past several years?" And that's him planting the flag hard. He's framing it as principles over personalities, anti-war over online theatrics, and calling out the distance between talking tough and actually being connected to the country you're defending. Now look, don't get me wrong, I'm a literal Aird, but isn't it at least worth asking whether fast action is better than dragging things out for years on taxpayer money? Still, the whole "what even is Venezuela" angle comes off reckless, especially when people start flexing like invading places is some kind of scoreboard moment. That's where Tate fires back, saying this wasn't a war at all, and that he's anti-war, framing it instead as choosing leadership through force rather than election rigging to control resources. And whether you buy that or not, it shows how far this drifted from debate into dramatic grandstanding. Welcome to planet Earth. This happens all day, every day. That's why you live in a nice, rich country, and you just don't understand how the world works yet. Basically, Venezuela's rocking level 1 air defense with maxed out dark elixir. So the argument goes, why wouldn't you raid them? It's framed like strategy, not morality. And that alone tells you where this convo is headed. So Tate goes full supervillain mode. Like, Sneako's crying over us helicoptering a South American leader like we don't do this literally every election cycle. And I'm sitting here stunned because he says it the same way people say we always double park. He's arguing regime change is normal behavior, and Sneako's just upset because the optics were ugly this time. Then he casually drops, "This is why you live in a nice building in New York," which is unhinged confidence at its finest. What's wild is they low-key agree that war money gets wasted, but they hate each other too much to ever admit they're overlapping. Then Tate says, "Forget law, forget right and wrong," and Sneako immediately blue screens like a Windows XP error message. He's like, "Bro, did you just say forget right and wrong? What are you even saying?" And honestly, that crash out is completely fair. And every time a streamer accidentally hits the stream deck mid-rant and a random sound effect pops off, that's peak comedy. Does nothing to calm things down, but it absolutely makes the chaos funnier. Actually, peak comedy. It diffuses nothing, solves nothing, but somehow makes everything 10 times funnier. Sneako tries to plant his feet with "there is right and wrong," while the US is basically rolling up to Venezuela with level 10 dragons against a level 1 air defense tutorial boss, and at that point, what are we even discussing? Sneako starts breaking down Tate's whole "I could be on a yacht with models, but I choose to fight the Matrix" speech. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, this grift has been obvious for years. Why did it take you this long to notice? And can someone please flashbang Sneako Men in Black style so he forgets this entire arc? You can tell the artsy-fartsy stupid videos comment caused permanent psychic damage because Sneako refuses to let it die. He hard pivots straight into gambling like, "Let's have a real conversation." Pulls up old Tate quotes.
Voting gambling. Yeah. Let's have a real conversation about that. I tweeted at Tate yesterday because after years of saying he didn't want to stream on Kick because they promote gambling, after years of Tristan saying that gambling and degeneracy and is ruining the West, Tate promotes his gambling website.
Tristan quotes, receipts, timestamps, the whole evidence board like it's a courtroom drama. And honestly, Tate's whole rise was built on controversy. So why is anyone shocked he's into gambling, crypto, and blocking critics? That's not a plot twist. That's the business model. Sneako's no genius, but credit where it's due. He's way more consistent than Tate, and consistency actually counts for something. Then everything completely derails into Venezuela, Christianity, politics, left-wing, right-wing, same bird, different wigs, and nobody knows what's happening anymore. Sneako is fully popping off, cycling through points like he's speedrunning topics, while Tate's original contribution never really evolves past, "You're dumb and your videos are bad." At this stage, the whole thing feels wildly one-sided, less debate and more endurance test. Tate versus Sneako right now isn't even content beef anymore. It's escalation for escalation's sake, with egos doing laps and no referee in sight. And then Tate goes fully off the rails like Mexico and below is just one big Mexico, followed by "Send Delta Force, take everything, white guys are the most competent," which is, yeah, that's not even a take anymore. That's a Discord ban speedrun with no warm-up. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there asking chat if Venezuelans are even happy their guy got removed, because I genuinely don't know what's real anymore. And I'm not convinced Sneako knows either. The whole thing feels like reality lagging in real time. Sneako closes it out by asking whether Congress even has to approve invading another country, answers his own question with, apparently not, and then points out how Americans instantly unlock national pride whenever brown people are getting bombed somewhere. And honestly, that might be the single most coherent point made this entire time, buried under 10 layers of ego, grift, theatrics, and absolute nonsense. No winners, no clarity, just vibes and damage. And that's where this circus finally ends. If you made it this far, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more breakdowns like this, and share it with someone who needs to see this chaos unpacked. Drop a comment too. I want to know whose side you think looked worse, or if everyone just lost together.